So what was the last point? What was the last point discussed in this Vaishnavacharyas? So we didn't mention about that North Indian Bhakti and South Indian Bhakti and all. That means the North Indian Bhakti, Saguna, Nirguna Bhakti and all. What was exactly the last point? Exactly what was the last point mentioned? Akka Mahadev. That means we discussed about all this Nirguna, Saguna and okay. Now next topic is this one, that is Sufism. Yeah, now Sufism. I think we didn't discuss the Sufism. Yeah, it was a point for both the batches combinedly. So now next is Sufism. Sufism is the next topic. So Sufism is the philosophical movement in Islam. It originated in West Asia. It is a philosophical movement in Islam. It emerged in West Asia. It emerged in West Asia. Sufism emerged in West Asia. And Sufism is based on the principle Wahadatul Wajud. Sufism is based on the principle Wahadatul Wajud. Wahadatul Wajud. Wahadatul Wajud, the literal meaning is unity of being. Unity of being. And Sufism aims to establish a direct relationship between. Sufism aims to establish a direct relationship between the God and the devotee. It aims to establish a direct relationship between God and the devotee. Direct relation between God and devotee, that is Wahadatul Wajud. So Sufism is based on the principle Wahadatul Wajud. Then Sufism entered India during the invasion of Muhammad Ghori. Sufism entered India during the invasion of Muhammad Ghori. Sufism, it entered India during the invasion of Muhammad Ghori. And the first Sufi saint in India was Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti. Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti. He was the first Sufi saint in India, Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti. He was the first Sufi saint in India, Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti. And he established the Chishti sect in India. That is, Sufis are also divided into many sects. And this man established the Sufi sect called the Chishti. Chishti sect in India. Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti. Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti. And his center was at Ajmer. His center, that was at Ajmer. So Ajmer Dargah is after this man, Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti. Then the features of Chishti saints. First point is that they led a very simple life. They led a very simple life. They never accepted administrative posts or gifts from the rulers. They never accepted administrative posts or gifts from the rulers. Never accepted administrative posts or gifts from the rulers. Third point, they were religious, tolerant, and advocated the unity of Hinduism and Islam. They were religious, tolerant, and advocated the unity of Hinduism and Islam. And advocated the unity of Hinduism and Islam. Advocated the unity of Hinduism and Islam. That is Hindu-Muslim unity. Then the Chishti Sufis, they led a family life. All of them, almost all the Chistis, they led a family life. So they had a worldly life, not any ascetical model. They led a family life, the Sufis. Then they earned their livelihood through work. So they contributed in the admiration of the work culture. Not like the fraud saints of today. They earned their livelihood through their work. So they earned their livelihood through their work. They didn't beg before others. They didn't collect it from their devotees and all. And the last point, they practiced extremities like fasting, long period of fasting, etc. So they took some extremities also, long period of fasting and all. So these are the features of the Chishti Sufis in India. Third point is Hindu-Muslim unity. That is, they were religious, tolerant, and they advocated for the unity of Hinduism and Islam. Then the other famous Chishti saints of India. First one we mentioned Moinuddin Chishti, then Khwaja Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki. Khwaja Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki is a saint. Khwaja Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki. Khwaja Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki is a saint. And it was in his memory Qutub Minar was constructed. It was in his memory the Qutub Minar was constructed. Qutub Minar that was constructed in his memory. Then there was another saint called Baba Farid. Baba Farid. He is also a Chishti saint. See, what I am mentioning right now are the Chishti saints. Baba Farid's teachings were included in the Adi Granth, the holy books of the Sikhs. His teachings were introduced in, not introduced, his teachings were included in Adi Granth, the holy books of the Sikhs. His teachings included in Adi Granth, the holy books of the Sikhs. Then the most famous Chishti saint of India was Nizamuddin Auliya. Nizamuddin Auliya. He was the most famous man. And he was in Delhi. His time period was 1236 to 1325. So he had seen the rules of Razia, Balban, Alauddin Khalji, and all those big rulers, Nizamuddin Auliya. He had the title Mehboob-e-Ilahi. His title was Mehboob-e-Ilahi. That was his title, Mehboob-e-Ilahi. He was called Siddh by the people. He was called Siddh by the people. He was called Siddh. He practiced yoga. And the famous poet and historian Amir Khusru was his disciple. Amir Khusru was his disciple. Then next, fourth leading figure is Nasiruddin Muhammad. Nasiruddin Muhammad. He was called Siddh by the people. Siddha. Siddh by the people. That's all. Nasiruddin Muhammad. He was given the title Chiragi Delhi. He was given the title Chiragi Delhi. Light of Delhi. That was the title given to this man. Light of Delhi. Then next, another Sufi sect in India was Suhrawardi. Suhrawardi was another Sufi sect in India. It was founded by a person called Bahauddin Zakaria. Bahauddin Zakaria founded this at Multan, now in Pakistan, Multan. It's in Multan. Bahauddin Zakaria established Suhrawardi Silsila. Suhrawardi Silsila. Bahauddin Zakaria. Okay. And this Bahauddin Zakaria, he was given the title Sheikhul Islam. He was given the title Sheikhul Islam by Iltutmish. Sultan Iltutmish gave this Bahauddin Zakaria the title Sheikhul Islam. The Suhrawardis led a luxurious life. They were not like the Chistis. They led a luxurious life. They led a luxurious life. Then they accepted gifts and administrative posts. They accepted gifts and administrative posts. They accepted gifts and administrative posts. So they accepted administrative posts and gifts. Then they supported religious conversion. They supported, just one second. So they led a luxurious life. They accepted administrative posts and gifts from the rulers. Then they supported religious conversion. They were not religious tolerant. They supported religious conversion. They supported religious conversion. And so they never followed a liberal religious policy. Okay, they were not religious tolerant. They supported religious conversion and all. So these are the two prominent Sufi sect in India. Then we have many other Sufi sects are also there. One among them was the Rishi sect. Rishi sect was in Kashmir. It was a Sufi sect in India, Kashmir. Its founder I don't remember his name right now. Its founder, he was very fond of the Hindu rishis. And that's why he adopted this name, Rishi. Then some Sufi terms related to Sufism. So these are some of the terms related to Sufism. Suhrawardi supported religious conversion into Islam. So silsila is a Sufi term and it means sect. Different Sufi sect, they got this term silsila, sect. Sufi, Chisti silsila, Suhrawadi silsila, Rishi silsila, like that the silsila. Khanka means the monastery or the headquarters. You can write the monastery of the Sufis. That is Khanka. Peer means the teacher and Murid means disciple. Murid means disciple. Rab means God. Sufis go, they use the term Rab for God. Rab ne bana di jodi movie, like that. Rab. Rak means the dance. Sufi dance is called Rak and Sufi music is called Zama. Sufi music, it is very popular and Sufi music is called Zama. Ziyarat is the pilgrimage. That is the pilgrimage to the tombs of the saints. That is called Ziyarat. Pilgrimage, that is called Ziyarat. Then there is Urus. Qawwali is the type of the music developed from Sufism. Urus means the death anniversary of the saints. Death anniversary of the saints is called Urus. Death anniversary. And Malfuzat is the Sufi literature. The Sufi literature is called Malfuzat. These are some of the terms related to Sufism. Malfuzat. Then the prominent Malfuzats are Fawad ul Fawad. Fawad ul Fawad is a prominent Malfuzat and it is the teachings of Nizamuddin Awliya. Fawad ul Fawad is the teachings of Nizamuddin Awliya. Then one more is Khairul Majlis. Khairul Majlis. Khairul Majlis is the teachings of that Naziruddin Chiragi Delhi. Chiragi Delhi. Naziruddin Chiragi Delhi. So these are the two prominent Malfuzats. Fawadul Fawad, which is the teachings of Nizamuddin Awliya, and Khairul Majlis, which is the teachings of Naziruddin Chiragi Delhi. So that's regarding Sufism. Then any other point remaining in our class? I think we finished almost all the topics. Folk dances was covered, I think. Classical dance was covered for all the batches. Batch 3 folk dance is not done, that I know. But because that was a confusion because you people joined late on that day. Classical dances was covered for all the batches, okay. How come batch 7 classical dance is not covered? Is it? Batch 7 classical dance is not there, not done? People are saying it is covered, not covered. Okay, music is not covered for both the batches. Okay. Now, so next is the music. Was music covered for any batch? Music covered for any batch? No. Okay. So now let's have the music. So the Indian music is festivals and all. You take the Shankar Academy material. Who is going to take festivals in the class? Festivals are simply factual things. Okay, that is in the Shankar Academy material. You read from that. Just study the festival and the name of the street. That's enough. Nothing more is required. The Indian music is heptatonic. Indian music is heptatonic. Indian music is heptatonic. That is, it is based on 7 swaras. There is no 8 swara. Hepta means 7. Okay. Octa is 8. Indian music is heptatonic. That it is based on 7 musical notes, 7 swaras. Based on 7 musical notes called 7 swaras. 7 swaras. Heptatonic. 7 swaras, sapta swaras. And they are sa, ri, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni. These are the sapta swaras. Sa, ri, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni. And these 7 stands for 7 swaras. Sa stands for Shadjam. Ri stands for Rishabham. Ga stands for Gandharam. Ma stands for Madhyamam. Madhyamam. Pa stands for Panchamam. Da stands for Daivadam. And Ni stands for Nishadam. These are the Saptaswaras. So Indian music is based on this 7 swaras, Saptaswaras. Indian classical music, it is based on the Saptaswaras. So Sa, Ri, Ga, Ma, Pa, Dha, Ni. These are the Saptaswaras. Clear? Next is a Raga. Raga, it is a collection of 5 or more swaras. Raga is a collection of 5 or more swaras. Raga, it's a collection of 5 or more swaras on which the melody is based. So raga, it is a collection of 5 or more swaras in which the melody is based. 5 or more swaras in which the melody is based. That is raga. 5 or more swaras in which the melody is based. Then next, based on the number of swaras, the ragas are classified into 3. Based on the number of swaras, ragas are classified into 3. That is, if there is 5 swaras, that raga is called Odava raga. Odava. So if 5 swaras in a raga, it is called Odava. If it is 6 swaras, it is called Shadava. If it is 6 swaras, it is called Shadava. And if it is 7, it is called Sampurna. So these are the 3 ragas. That is, if it is 5, Odava. If it is 6, Shadava. And if it is 7, it is called Sampurna. Then based on the speed also, based on the speed also, ragas are classified into 3. If it is a slow raga, if the raga is very slow, it is called Vilambit. If it is a slow raga, it is called Vilambit. It's a slow raga, it is called Vilambit. And if it is a medium pace, it's not a fast or slow, it is medium pace, it will be called Madhya raga. It will be called Madhya raga. Madhya. And if it is very fast, then it will be called Drud. Drud. So Vilambit raga, Madhya raga, and Drud. Vilambit, Madhya, and Drud. Based on the speed, ragas are classified. Vilambit, Madhya, and Drud. Then based on the time also, the ragas are classified into 2. Based on the time of singing. And if it is from midnight to noon, listen, if it is midnight to noon, it is called Purvi raga. If the ragas that are sung between the midnight and the noon, it is called Purvi raga. It is called Purvi raga. It is called Purvi raga. And if it is sung between midnight and noon, it is called Uttara raga. It is called Uttara raga. Uttara raga. It is called Uttara raga. No, what I said, yeah, this is from midnight to noon. Okay, Purvi raga is from midnight to noon, and Uttara raga is from noon to midnight. Uttara raga, noon to midnight. Uttara raga, noon to midnight. Then Indian classical music is divided into two: Carnatic and Hindustani. Carnatic and Hindustani. Hindustani is the music of North India. Hindustani is the music of North India, and it is a mix of Hindu and Islamic art. It's a mix of Hindu and Islamic art. So once again, Hindustani is the music of North India, and it is a mix of Hindu and Islamic art. And it is a mix of Hindu and Islamic art. Clear? The foundation of Hindustani music is a text called Sangeeta Suryodaya. Sangeeta Suryodaya. It is the foundation of Hindustani music. Sangeeta Suryodaya. Sangeeta Suryodaya is the foundation of Hindustani music. This Hindustani music, we have collection different styles. We have different styles in Hindustani music. And the different styles of Hindustani music. First one is Dhrubad style. First one is Dhrubad style. This was developed by Swami Haridas. Dhrubad style was developed by Swami Haridas. Dhrubad style developed by Swami Haridas. And its greatest patron was Raja Man Singh of Gwalior. Its greatest patron was Raja Man Singh of Gwalior. And this Raja Man Singh wrote a book on this music called Man Kauduhal. Man Kauduhal is a musical book written by Raja Man Singh of Gwalior. He was the greatest patron of this Dhrubad music. The greatest patron of Dhrubad music was this Raja Man Singh. Dhrubad music, its theme is love and heroics. Its theme is love and heroics, is the theme of Dhrubad style. And this music requires, for singing this Dhrubad style, it requires special efforts from lungs and vocal cords. It requires special efforts from lungs and vocal cords. It requires special effort from lungs and vocal cords. Special efforts, lungs and vocal cords. Is it clear, Dhrubad music? Okay, the next. Khayal. Khayal. It's another style of Hindustani music. And this Khayal music was originally developed by Amir Khusru. Amir Khusru. Amir Khusru. Mughal Emperor Muhammad Shah was a great patron. Mughal Emperor Muhammad Shah, he was a great patron. He wrote this Khayal poems under pen name Rangila Pia. Rangila Pia. He wrote the pen Khayal music under the pen name Rangila Pia. Rangila Pia. Pen name Rangila Pia. Then the theme of Khayal music is erotics. Erotics is the theme, and it was written in the common man's language. Common man language means the simple talking language, that the common lingua franca. See, we don't have this, you know, the literary language and the common language. We normally don't speak in the literary language. So this was written in common man's language, Khayal music. Then Dadra. Dadra. Dadra is another style. Dadra is another style of Hindustani music. And this was developed by the Bhakti saints. Dadra was developed by the Bhakti saints like Mirabai, Surdas. They developed this Dadra. So Dadra is the devotional style of Hindustani music. So it is for devotional purpose. Dadra by the Bhakti saints. And a light form of music associated with the Dadra is called Tumri. Tumri is a light version of music, a light form, light music is. It's a light form of music associated with the Dadra. Light form of music associated with the Dadra. That is Tumri. Then next is Tappa. Tappa. Tappa is another style of Hindustani music. It is very fast. It's a fast style of music. And it developed from the music of the camel herders of. It developed from the music of. It developed from the music of camel herders of. It developed from the music of the camel herders of Northwest India. It developed from the music of the camel herders of Northwest India. Music of the camel herders of Northwest India. The next one is called Tarana. The next style is called Tarana. And this is a musical composition with meaningless words. This is a musical composition with meaningless words. Musical composition with meaningless words. Then the musical instruments associated with Hindustani music: Veena, Sarod, Sitar, Veena, Zarod, Zitar. Ghazal was not originally Hindustani. Ghazal music was originated in West Asia, and now it is also considered as a part of Hindustani music. Ghazal. Ghazal is West Asian in origin. It is foreign in origin, but now we consider it too as a part of Hindustani music. That's all. Veena, sarod, sitar, tabla, then harmonium, flute, then pakavaj. These are the main musical instruments associated with Hindustani music. These are the major ones associated with Hindustani music. There are other minor ones are also there, but these are the major ones. Then Carnatic music. Carnatic music, it's the music of South India, and it is based on Hindu traditions. Music of South India and is based on Hindu traditions. The foundational book of Carnatic music is a text called Sangeeta Sarva. Is a text called Sangeeta Sarva. Is a text called Sangeeta Sarva. That's the foundational work, Sangeeta Sarva. Then the Carnatic music emerged under Vijayanagar patronage. Emerged under Vijayanagar patronage. Carnatic music, it emerged under Vijayanagar patronage. The first known composer of Carnatic music, the first known composer, the person who had written the Carnatic lyrics, the first known composer of Carnatic music was Talapaka Annamacharya. Talapaka Annamacharya. He was the first known composer of Carnatic music. Man who composed, written, all these things. Talapaka Annamacharya. The Carnatic music emerged under two musicians, but the singing, the vocalists, Carnatic music emerged under two musicians named Purandhara Dasa. Purandhara Dasa and Kanagadasa. Purandhara Dasa and Kanagadasa. Purandhara Dasa and Kanagadasa emerged under two, that is Purandhara Dasa and Kanagadasa. Purandhara Dasa and Kanagadasa. Then the three Ratnas of Carnatic music, the three jewels, the three Ratnas of Carnatic music. First one is Tyagaraja Bhagavatar. Tyagaraja Bhagavatar. Tyagaraja Bhagavatar. Then Muthuswami Dikshidhar. Muthuswami Dikshidhar and Shyama Shastri. So these three were called the three Ratnas of Carnatic music. So the Kanagadasa, Purandhara Dasa and the three Ratnas, they developed the Carnatic music. The most important form of Carnatic music is Kriti. That is, Carnatic musical compositions are called Kriti. The most important musical composition, the most important Carnatic musical composition is called a Kriti. And this Kriti is divided into three. Pallavi, Anupallavi, and Charanam. So the Carnatic musical composition is called Kriti, and it is divided into Pallavi, Anupallavi, and Charanam. Pallavi is the first stanza, Anupallavi is the second stanza, and the Charanam is the remaining. So Pallavi, Anupallavi, and the Charanam. Then the Carnatic musical ragas are classified into two. The Carnatic ragas are classified into two categories. One is the Janaga ragas, and the second category is Janya ragas. That means Janaga is the base ragas, that is the foundation. We have some foundational ragas, and there are some ragas that emerged out of this base ragas, and such ragas are called Janya, which means derived ragas. So Janaga ragas and Janya ragas. Janaga is the base ragas, and Janya is the ragas that emerged from that. And that's why Janaga ragas are called parent ragas. Janaga ragas are called parent ragas, and Janya ragas are called daughter ragas. So that is parent, daughter. Janaga, Janya ragas. In Carnatic music, we don't have many different styles like Drupad, Tappa, Tumri, Dadra, Agasal, Tarana, nothing like that. However, in Carnatic music, there is a form called Tillana. Tillana is a style of Carnatic music with the meaningless words, almost similar to the Tarana of North India. And this is usually performed in the last of a musical gathering. If you conduct a concert, this is at the last. This happens at the last, Tillana. Tillana, that happens at the last. Then the musical instruments here, mainly tamburu, mridangam, flute, ghadam, violin. Yes, these are the part of the Hindustani music. So that's regarding the Hindustani and the Carnatic music. Now the musical instruments of India. Had we discussed that musical instruments? Had we discussed? Okay, no. So musical instruments of India. Musical instruments. Musical instruments in India. So the Natya Shastra it classified Indian musical instruments into 4 categories. The first one is called string instruments, which are called Tadavadya in Indian language. Tadavadya. These are also called chordophones. So this is the first one. The first style is called this one. String instruments, also called Tadavadya or chordophones. String instruments, also called Tadavadya or chordophones. These are the first category of Indian musical instruments. The first category of Indian musical instruments. String instruments, tadavadya or chordophone. So these are the musical instruments with some string. And the sound is produced by plucking on it or bowing on it. Examples, you know, that is Veena, the most popular one. Veena, Tamburu, Sitar, Sarod. Veena, Tamburu, Sitar, Sarod. Then Ektara, Ravanhatta, Gobi Jandra. All this comes under this category of string instruments, also called tadavadya or chordophones. String instruments, tadavadya or chordophones. String instruments, tadavadya or chordophones. Then the second category is called the percussion instruments. Percussion instruments, which is called Avanadavadya, also called membranophones, This is the second category. These are the musical instruments in which animal skin is used. So by attaching animal skin, the sound is produced in this percussion instruments. And the percussion instruments includes chenda, tabla, mridangam, pakavaj, duffly, idakya, uddaga, timila. These are the musical instruments that comes under the percussion instruments. Percussion. Then the third category is called wind instruments. The third category is called wind instruments, called Sushiravadya. Also called aerophones. So these are the musical instruments in which sound is produced by blowing air into it. That is this type of musical instrument. Wind instruments, also called Sushiravadya, aerophones. And there are two types. One is flute, which is known by different name in India. Venu, Vamshi, Murali, Bhasuri in North India. South India, Odakudal, Kolakudal, Pullangudal. Like that, so many names are there. And the second category is called reed instruments. So flute and the reed instruments are the two types of wind instruments in India. Reed instruments, there are two. Shehna in North India and Nadaswaram in South India. Shehnai and Nadaswaram. So one example is Shehnai and another one is Nadaswaram. These are the two types of wind instruments. Flute is a single hollow tube, whereas reed instrument is a hollow tube and into that a pipe is inserted. And in the gap between the pipe and the hollow tube, the vibration produces the sound. And that is the reed instruments, Shehnai and Nadaswaram. And the last category of musical instrument is called solid instruments. solid instruments, and it is also called Ghanavadya. It is also called Ghanavadya. Solid instruments also called Ghanavadya, or it is called idiophones. See, these are the musical instruments in which no tuning is required. There is no tuning is required for these type of musical instruments. You hit each other, sound is produced. You hit two instruments each other, the sound is produced. That is called solid instruments. So all these cymbals, they came under this category. The musical instruments called the cymbals, they came under this category. You hit them each other, the sound is produced. And some examples are kartal, ilattalam. Kartal and ilattalam. Kartal and ilattalam are the musical instruments. So these are the musical instruments. Clear? Is it clear, the musical instruments of India? Okay. Now, devotional music in India. Devotional music in India, we have Kirtan and Bhajan for Hindus. Kirtan and Bhajan for Hindus. Hindu religion, these two are the devotional music. Kirtan and Bhajan. You may listen to a bhajan.
I'm preparing something to share with the world.
So that's a bhajan you had listened. Then next is, that's a favorite bhajan of Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, that was a favorite bhajan of Mahatma Gandhi, written by that Vaishnava saint Narsi Mehta. We mentioned that Narsi Mehta in our Bhakti class, that Narsi Mehta Gujarat, he composed that Vaishnava Jantu, and that's a favorite of Mahatma Gandhi. Then Shabad. Shabad. Shabad belongs to the Sikhs. Shabbat belongs to the Sikh community. And Shabbat belongs to the Sikh community and Qawwali for the Muslims. Qawwali for the Muslims. These are the prominent devotional music in India. Kirtan, Bhajan, Shabad and Qawwali. Clear? Had we discussed about the various schools of sculpture? Gandhara, Mathura, Amravati and all those things? Which batch is saying yes? Those who are saying yes, please say your batch number, please. Batch 3, it is discussed. So batch 7, it is not discussed. Okay. And batch 7, you have classical dances pending, isn't it? So I will write and you say whether this is correct or not. Batch 3, batch 7. Batch 3, technically that folk dances is remaining because many of you didn't join that day, that time, folk dances. Then classical dances, sculpture. This is remaining in batch 7. Is this correct? Okay. So folk dance for batch 3 and classical dances and sculpture for batch 7. Yeah, that I know. You didn't join because the invite was not shared. Okay. What about that UNESCO intangible heritage? Was that covered in your class? UNESCO intangible heritage done? Done for all the batches? Yes. Okay. So one thing is that now classical dance and sculpture won't be finished in this 1 hour and all. So batch 7 students, you can leave, and batch 3 we will continue with the folk dance. Batch 7 we will have a class in the next week or like that, because one full class is required for this classical dance and sculpture. So by batch 7 students, you can take a leave now, and batch 3 be online, and we will have the class after a break of 10 minutes. So welcome back. Now the folk dances. Actually, now I will give the list of the folk dances and the stage. Okay. Not going to play the videos as such. So if you want to see that free videos and all, you can ask for that class. So we will discuss the folk dances from the states. First one is Padayani. Padayani is a folk dance. Then Velagali. Padayani and Velagali are the folk dances from Kerala. Padayani and Velagali are the folk dances from Kerala. Then Tamil Nadu. We have the folk dances from Tamil Nadu. That is Mailattam, Karagattam, Mailattam, Karagattam, Pambattam, Devarattam, and Kummi. These are from Tamil Nadu. Mailattam, Karagattam, Pambattam, Devarattam, and Kummi from Tamil Nadu. Then next, Dolu Kunida. This is not the full list of all dances, but these are the prominent dances. You have other dances also, but minimum required, that is what we are discussing here. Dolu Kunida is from Karnataka. Dolu Kunida is from Karnataka. And then Veeranatyam, Vilasini Natyam, Vilasini Natyam, Veeranatyam, Vilasini Natyam, and Dimsa from Andhra Pradesh. Veeranatyam, Vilasini Natyam, and Dimsa. These are the dances from Andhra Pradesh. These are the dances from Andhra Pradesh. Then we have Gumura dance from Odisha. Gumura is a dance from Odisha. Gumura. Then Pandavani and Gaur dance from Chhattisgarh. Pandavani Gaur from Chhattisgarh. Pandavani dance and Gaur dance from Chhattisgarh. Yeah, Rot Nacha is also there in Chhattisgarh. Rot Nacha. That is also in Chhattisgarh. Rot Nacha. The next, Lahangi and Javari, Lahangi and Javari in Madhya Pradesh. Lahangi and Javari in Madhya Pradesh. Lahangi, Javari. Then Pinga, Lavani in Maharashtra. Pinga and Lavani in Maharashtra. Pinga and Lavani in Maharashtra. Then Dandiya and Garba in Gujarat. Dandiya dance and Garba dance in Gujarat. Dandiya and Garba in Gujarat. Dandiya and Garba in Gujarat. Then in Rajasthan, we have a lot of dances. Bhavai dance in Rajasthan, but Bhavai theatre in Gujarat. These are in Rajasthan. Bhavai, Rajasthan. Then Pani Hari, Rasdari, Ghumar, Shari, Kalbelia. Kalbelia we already mentioned in our UNESCO heritage, Kalbelia. Then Tertali. Tertali is in Madhya Pradesh also. Tertali is in Madhya Pradesh also. Then Chang, Kachi Godi. Kachi Godi dance is performed only by men. Kachi Godi is performed only by men. Pani Hari, Bhavai, Pani Hari, Rasdari, Ghumar, Shari, Kalbelia, Tertali, Chang, Kachi Godi. Then Bhavai is there, Pani Hari, Rasdari, Ghumar, Shari, Kalbelia, Tertali, Chang, Kachi Godi. KJ. Where is KJ? Oh, it is not KJ, it is RJ. Rajasthan. Then these are the dances of Rajasthan. I think I mentioned or one is missing somewhere. Bhavai, Pani Hari, Rasdari, Ghumar, Shari, Kalbelia. Yeah, Gair is also a dance there. Gair. Gair dance is also in Rajasthan. Gair. These are the dances of Rajasthan. Kachi Godi is performed only by men. Only by men. Kachi Godi is performed only by men. Only men performs this Kachi Godi. So these are the dances. You may watch that Kalbelia dance. That I will show you Kalbelia.
So
So that's the Kalbelia dance. It is in UNESCO Intangible Heritage List also. Kalbelia is in UNESCO Intangible Heritage List. Then next, in Punjab, Bhangra. Punjab Bhangra dance is there. Bhangra. Bhangra is a dance in Punjab. Then Bhangra got a female version called Gidda. Gidda is the female version of Punjab dance. Gidda. It's a female version of Punjab. Bhangra, Gidda. Then Gatka dance. These are in Punjab. Then Rauf dance is in Jammu and Kashmir. Rauf dance is there in Jammu and Kashmir. Rauf dance. Rauf dance in Jammu and Kashmir. Then Namagan and Karyala in Himachal Pradesh. Namagan and Karyala are the folk dances of Himachal Pradesh. Namagan and Karyala. Namagan and Karyala, the folk dances of Himachal Pradesh. Then Langveer is a dance in Uttarakhand. Langveer is a dance in Uttarakhand. Then Charkula and Mayura Nritya in Uttar Pradesh. Charkula and Mayura Nritya in Uttar Pradesh. This Charkula dance, 108 oil lamps is on the head of the dancer. You may watch that Charkula. So that's the Charkula dance in UP. Then Videsia and Jumari. These dances in Bihar. Videsia and Jumari are the dances in Bihar. Videsia and Jumari, dances in Bihar. Then Paika is a dance in Bihar and Jharkhand. And this is a martial art of Odisha. Paika is a martial art in Odisha. Paika is a dance in Bihar, Jharkhand, but it is a martial art in Odisha. Then Alkap and Gambhira are in West Bengal. Alkap and Gambhira are in West Bengal. Alkap and Gambhira, West Bengal. Then Bihu. Sculpture was covered already for batch 3. Okay. Bihu and Bagurumba. Bihu and Bagurumba in Assam. Bihu and Bagurumba in Assam. Bihu and Bagurumba in Assam. Then Bardocham. Bardocham is in Arunachal Pradesh. Bardocham is in Arunachal Pradesh. Bardocham in Arunachal Pradesh. Butterfly dance and Motse in Nagaland. Butterfly and Motse for Nagaland. Butterfly and Motse for Nagaland. This is I am taking for batch 3. Okay, this classical dances is, sorry, folk dances is taken for batch 3 only now. Okay, Butterfly and Motse, Nagaland. Then, yeah. Next one. Actually, many students were not able to join that batch, that folk dances class that day. That's why repeating. Okay. So Butterfly and Motse dance for Nagaland. Then Luivat Paisak. Luivat Paisak, Shimlam, and Khamba Toibi. These are the dances in Manipur. These are the dances in Manipur. Luivat Paisak, Shimlam, and Khamba Toibi in Manipur. Luivat Paisak, Shimlam, and Khamba Toibi in Manipur. Then Chero dance or bamboo dance in Mizoram. Chero dance or bamboo dance in Mizoram. Chero dance or bamboo dance in Mizoram. Then next, finished up to this. Okay. Then Oja, this is not that. Hojagiri. Hojagiri. High Huck. These are the dances. Biju. Hojagiri, High Huck, and Biju. These are the ones for Tripura. These are the dances for Tripura. Ojagiri, Haihak, and Biju for Tripura. Then Nongram stands for Meghalaya. Nongram is a dance for Meghalaya. Then in Sikkim, Zoma Lok. Zoma Lok. This is a dance by the Lepcha community in Sikkim. Lepcha community in Sikkim. Lepcha community of Sikkim. And Tashi Shabdo. That is also in Sikkim by Bhutia community. Tashi Shabdo is a dance by the Bhutia community. Tashi Shabdo, Bhutia community. Tashi Shabdo. Then we have Divlan. Divlan. Sorry, spelling is wrong. 1 second. Divlan. I think how that is pronounced like that. Divlan. Dangar. Romtamel. And Veerbhadra. These 4 dances are in Goa. Divlan, Dangar, Romtamel, and Veerbhadra. Divlan, Dangar, Romtamel, and Veerbhadra. These are the dances in Goa. So these are the folk dances. And some said that the Buddhist architecture is not discussed for your batch. Isn't it? Buddhist architecture, is it remaining or not? Buddhist architecture. Okay, so now the Buddhist architecture. So there are 3 main features of the Buddhist architecture: stupa, Buddhist folk music. There is no Buddhist folk music. Literature you take from Shankara Academy material. That's just the names of few books only. Okay, that is pakka factual things. Go through the Shankara Academy material, you will get the literature there. Stupa, Chaitya, and Vihara. Stupa, Chaitya, and Vihara. Stupa, Chaitya, and Vihara. These are the 3 important aspects of the Buddhist architecture. Stupa is the construction over the remains of Buddha, mortal remains of Buddha. Stupa is the construction over the mortal remains of Buddha. Chaitya is the Buddhist worship, place of worship. Chaitya is the Buddhist place of worship, and Vihara is the monastery. These are the 3 important aspects of the Buddhist architecture. 3 important aspects of Buddhist architecture. These questions are directly asked. What is stupa? What is vihara? Like that, the questions were direct in nature. We will get direct questions regarding this stupas. And normally they directly ask what is this stupa, what is this vihara. That's the way they used to ask the question. But anyway, little explanation is required for stupas. Yeah, stupas are constructed over the Buddha's mortal remains. And stupa architecture we will discuss now. So this is the plan of a stupa. This is actually the plan of a Buddhist stupa. And one more second. This Buddhist stupa consists of this is what is Buddhist architecture. It is being discussed now. Okay. My gosh. So this is the plan of the Buddhist architecture. This is the plan of the Buddhist architecture. So you can see this, and the Buddhist architecture, you write, the stupa consists of a hemispherical dome called Anda. The stupa consists of a hemispherical dome called Anda. The stupa that consists of a hemispherical dome called Anda. That's hemispherical dome. Then at the top of Anda, there is a construction called Harmika. At the top of Anda, there is a construction called Harmika. At the top of Anda, there is a construction called Harmika. At the top of Anda, there is a construction called Harmika. And this Harmika is considered as the seat of God, God. Harmika is considered as the seat of God. Harmika is considered as the seat of the God. And above that, there is a construction called Chhatri. It is like a crown, Chhatri. Chhatri. Then the gateway of the stupas is called Torana. Gateway, the yellow color. Gateway of the stupa is called Torana. Gateway of the stupa, that is called Torana. And the stupa consists of Pradakshina Pada. There is two Pradakshina Padas there, inner one and outer one. The stupa consists of Pradakshina Pada. Pradakshina Pada means a circumambulatory pathway where you take a rotation of this stupa. That is, there are two. One, this one, the first one here, and the second one, this one. Two Pradakshina Padas are there. And this hand railings. Okay, this hand railing, which is which I will now write as 1 in green color and 2 in the this one. That 2 represents the Vedika. Vedika means the railings of the stupa. So this is the architectural plan of Buddhist stupa. Finished? Okay. Originally, there were 8 stupas. 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 And the oldest stupa was constructed at Piparwa in Uttar Pradesh. Oldest stupa was constructed at Piparwa in Uttar Pradesh. Oldest stupa that was constructed at Piparwa in Uttar Pradesh. Piparwa. Stupa construction became popular during the period of Ashoka. Stupa construction became popular during the period of Ashoka. Stupa construction that became popular during the period of Ashoka. popular during the period of Ashoka, and the most famous stupa constructed by Ashoka was Sanchi Stupa in Madhya Pradesh. The most famous is Sanchi Stupa, Madhya Pradesh. That's the most famous stupa constructed by Ashoka, Sanchi Stupa in Madhya Pradesh. This Sanchi Stupa was doubled in size by Pushyamitra Shunga. Sanchi Stupa was doubled in size by Pushyamitra Shunga. Sanchi Stupa was doubled in its size by Pushyamitra Shunga. Sanchi Stupa that was doubled in the size by Pushyamitra Shunga. Then the Toranas of Sanchi Stupa was added by the Toranas of Sanchi Stupa that was added by Toranas of Sanchi Stupa that was added by Shadakarni first. The Shadavahana king Shadakarni first added the Torana to Sanchi Stupa. Toranas of Sanchi Stupa. Toranas of Sanchi Stupa. The next one, Piparva was the oldest stupa. Oldest stupa constructed was Piparva Stupa. Then next, Ashoka also constructed Dhamik Stupa. Ashoka also constructed Dhamik Stupa at Sarnath. Ashoka constructed Dhamik Stupa at Sarnath. Dhamik Stupa at Sarnath. Then next, Kanishka he constructed Purishabura Stupa. Purishabura Stupa. And Chirtop Stupa. Purishabura Stupa in Purishapura, that is in Pakistan. Chirtop Stupa was constructed at Takshashila. Both are in Pakistan. Chirtop Stupa. Then next, Pushyamitra Shunga constructed Barhut Stupa. Pushyamitra Shunga, he constructed the Barhut Stupa. Then other prominent stupas are in Andhra Pradesh. Nagarjunakonda Stupa. Barhut is in Madhya Pradesh. Barhut is in Madhya Pradesh. Then Nagarjunakonda Stupa by Shadavahanas. Nagarjunakonda Stupa by Shadavahanas. Nagarjunakonda Stupa by Shadavahanas. and Amaravati Stupa by Ikshvagus. Amaravati by Ikshvagus. Nagarjuna Konda by Shadavahanas and Amaravati by Ikshvagus. These are the stupas. So that's regarding the Buddhist architecture. The other things, Vihara and Chaitya, that will be asked just what is Vihara and Chaitya. Then regarding the Jains, the most important architecture of Jains is called Basadi. Basadi is the most important architecture of the Jains. And this Basadi, that is the Jain place of worship as well as monastery. It's a place of Jain worship and monastery. And this was mainly constructed in South India. Mainly constructed in South India. So that is regarding the Buddhist architecture. Now some topics which you have to go through our Shankar Academy material. One is the literature. So many books we mentioned in between in our class. That is mainly that ancient India, we covered almost all the books. So medieval India part, you just go through the Shankar Academy material. Go through that important books. It's not nowadays, it's not that big way, but you focus on the books written by the sultans and emperors. So books on the sultans and emperors, and the books especially written by women. These books only you focus. Okay, Vijayanagar and all, we already mentioned the books, so no issue. Only few books are remaining that you go through that. Then you also go through the 6 schools of Indian philosophy. 6 schools of Indian philosophy. Go through the 6 schools of Indian philosophy. There are 6 schools are there Indian philosophy, like Nyaya, Sankhya, Vaisheshika, Yoga, Purva Mimamsa, and Uttara Mimamsa. These are the 6 schools of Indian philosophy. Need not worry about that. This will be very factual for your exam. So that's why just you study who propagated all this. Nyaya by Akshapadala Gautama, Vaisheshika by Kapila, like that. Sankhya by like that. The names are there. Yoga by Patanjali. So just the name of the 6. Plus you may study little bit on Nyaya and Vaisheshika. Sorry, Nyaya and Sankhya. That can be asked sometimes. And Sankhya is the most important. It is in the old NCRT as well as our Shankar Academy material. Just go through that. Just go through that. That's all the topics, I think. I think the rest of that, almost all the topics we covered. Any doubts? Okay. So folk music and all, it's not that prominent. It will be in our academy material. You just go through that. Okay. This Vedic literature. Someone had asked a doubt on Vedic literature. See, Vedic literature, we have 4. The Samhidas, then the Upanishads, then the Brahmanas, and the Aranyakas. These are the 4 types of Vedic literature. Samhita means the Vedas. The 4 Vedas are the Samhitas. Rig Veda Samhita, Yajur Veda Samhita, Samaveda Samhita, and Atharva Veda. Upanishads are the philosophical explanation of Vedas. Philosophical explanation of Veda. That brings out the inner meaning. And the Upanishads are, that's why called Vedantas. Upanishads are called Vedantas. Upanishads, they are called the Vedantas. And there are so many Upanishads, so no need to study all the Upanishads. But if you want, you can study something called Mahopanishads. There are 12 Upanishads called Mahopanishads. The Upanishads attached to the 4 Vedas. Okay. Then Brahmanas. Brahmanas are the texts attached with the Vedas. That is, we can write as appendix. These are the appendix of Vedas, which gives details about the performance of the rituals. Which give details about the performance of the rituals. Performance of the rituals. Aranyakas are the books again attached. See, all these are attached with the Vedas. They are not separate, okay? Each are associated with the different Vedas, but we classify them into 4. Aranyakas are the books written for the hermits. That is sannyasis, living in the forests and all. Books written for the hermits living in the forest. Forest is Aranya. That's why this is called Aranyaka. Aranyakas. These are little philosophical also. Aranyakas are philosophical. No need to study about Brahmanas and Aranyakas. Just understand what they are. Upanishads, if you want, you can go through the Mahopanishads. That's the Vedic literature corpus. Tips is that the history, I will say that. See, no need to worry much about the names of the rulers and all. You focus mainly on the economic and the social history. Ancient India, medieval India focused mainly on the economic and social history. Then the terms, we studied many terms in between. These terms related to medieval India and ancient India. There will be questions on that term definitely. Then you just focus on the art and culture part. This will be enough for ancient, medieval, and art and culture. No need to worry much about the political history and all. The names and the dynasties, for example, Vijayanagar, the 4 dynastic names, its chronology can be asked. So you can just focus on that chronology also. Other than that, nothing is required. Ancient India, medieval India, art and culture, you finish the class notes. For the matter of religion and all, you can go through some other sources, only for religion. Other things you can just go through our class notes, that will be enough. Martial arts, if you want martial art, you can take it down. I'll say that, martial arts. See, martial art, the oldest martial art in the world, that is Kalaripayattu, Kerala. Kalaripayattu in Kerala is the oldest martial art in India. Kalaripayattu in Kerala. Then Silambam in Tamil Nadu. Silambam in Tamil Nadu. Then Katti Samu in Andhra. Katti Samu in Andhra Pradesh. Then Paika in Odisha. Paika in Odisha. Then Tangta and Tampak in Manipur. Tangta and Tambak in Manipur. Tangta and Tambak in Manipur. Then Gatka in Punjab. Gatka in Punjab. Gatka in Punjab. Then these are the prominent martial art styles of India. And there is a Mallakhamba, but it is not exactly a martial art fight, but it is considered to be a martial art. Mallakhamba. Anyway, that details they won't ask. If it is asked, Mallakhamba is in Madhya Pradesh. Mallakhamba is in Madhya Pradesh. Then we have Mardani Khel. Mardani Khel in Maharashtra. These are the martial arts. What's it out as? Yeah, they are the folk dances also, martial art also. See, we studied that Tangta as a classical dance of Manipur, but it is also a martial art of Manipur. These are the prominent martial arts of India. You may prepare a little more for on the martial art for the mains examination. Preliminary, this name and the state is enough. But mains exam also you can prepare for 100, 150 words. Why these are. See, these are associated with the self-defense. These are associated with the fight against animals. It originated as a part of religion. It originated as a part of social customs. Such features are there. That won't be asked for the prelims. Prelims, the states and all, that will be enough. So these are the martial arts of India. Then prelims preparation, no need. Medieval India class notes is enough, more than enough. You need not waste your time too much on preparing. You try to cover the topics the maximum. Do maximum practice test and try to revise the topics. That's enough. No need to go behind the many topics. All the topics which the faculties discuss in the class, the questions will be regarding that topics only. So just go through that topics, consolidate that topics rather than going behind new topics even on the eve of the examination. Now you have ample time. Okay, even if you didn't prepare well, also the next 4 months you consolidate, revise, do maximum model tests. Then you will have a good chance to clear the examination. Why is it good chance? Because this is a very highly contested examination. So this is what is required. Maximum revision, maximum mock tests. That's enough. And no need for other books. The topics which I mentioned in the class, that's enough. And other than that, if you want to read something, you may read it. That's it. These are the area where we used to get the questions, the topics which I discussed in the class. While studying or revising that, you may look into some other source if you want for art and culture. Normally 6 questions. See, normally 3 to 5 questions, 3 to 6 questions will be asked from art and culture. Most of the time we will get, sometimes we used to get all the 6, sometimes we used to get 5, like that. Most of the times, maybe 1 question will be difficult. Other than that, we will get directly from the class notes. So no need to worry, you just go through the class notes and revise that. Only the religion part and the topics which I mentioned. Then if you want, you can just go through the topics like embroidery in India, food. That is different cuisines in India. That can be gone. You can go through that. Then you can go through this handicrafts of India. Such things you may go through that. And also just go through that Republic Day parade also. Republic Day parade. If any art and culture activities were displayed, you just go through all the states, what was displayed. We used to get questions from that area also. That's it. Okay, that's all. So all the best, all of you. GI tag is not a part of the art and culture that you may study as a part of economics. GI tag. Yeah, GI tag also. If you go through GI tag also, you will find such things. Good thinking. Okay, that's all. Bye. All the best once again, all of you.